Technology, everything for the man.
With all the hype around the iPad mini, I want to take a look at some of the competitors in the market, or more importantly, where the market started. It certainly wasn't Apple that created the smaller 7 to 8 inch market. Apple contests they will never create a 7-inch iPad, and I believe that. But let's not forget a few early entrants. The Blackberry Playbook, okay? 7-inch tablet, rather large form factor, almost, in fact, smaller than the iPad mini, but certainly thicker and a slightly weightier device. A great device, innovative at its time, just a little bit unsupported in the marketplace. This to me is my favourite small form or mid-range tablet. You could consider the Galaxy Note to be a tablet as well, but this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.7. The 7.7 has, as it says, a 7.7-inch screen, and honestly, it's a fantastic size device. Great screen, and also great form factor, very thin, and a beautiful construction too, a really nice metalist construction here along the edges. So great design from Samsung, but a little bit overpriced when it first came out, over $500, Wi-Fi only. So I thought this to be the mid-range tablet to get, and I always thought that Apple had to compete with that if they wanted to get anywhere. If we just stick for a minute with the Galaxy Tab 7.7 and the iPad mini, you'll note they're very similar devices, very similar size. Galaxy Tab's slightly smaller by a few millimeters in every direction, and the screen's 7.7 inches. And one of the key things you'll note is that the screen on the Galaxy Tab 7.7, there's a larger frame around the outside. And with the iPad, they've gone for a narrower frame down the edges. And that narrow frame has allowed them to have a wider screen and keeping their normal aspect ratio, which isn't full widescreen, which a lot of these other tablets are. So the 16:9. So very similar tablets. But the iPad obviously now has the 4G capabilities, some real advantages there over devices like the Samsung. Price-wise though, when you look at the Google Nexus 7, there's a real competitive market forming for these cheaper tablets and smaller tablets. But in the end, people are probably going to be drawn to the ecosystem of the Apple App Store, which is probably going to get them over the line. Some great apps already available, as you can see with the iPad mini. All the apps from the iPad are available here, and a great size screen for things like, as you can see here, SBS On Demand, watching content straight on the screen. Very good and very useful in a small handheld form. Very easy to read books and things like that, read through web pages when you're lying in bed, because it's a very light device. That's the advantage of these smaller tablets. They're light. So if these other guys can build cheaper devices because they need to be highly price competitive, we might just have a race on our hands. But for now, iPad mini, the big winner for me.
Technology.